Okay, hello everyone. This is John Jenkins, and I'm bringing you a video. So the title of this video, I searched YouTube for this video and I couldn't find it, so I decided to make it. So the title of this video is "How to Succeed If You're Naturally Unpopular." So if you, long story short, if you deal with, if you're somebody who if you're somebody who's not that popular, if you're somebody who's not that popular, people who are naturally popular always try to make you feel guilty about that. So if you're if you're at a party and nobody's really interested in you, nobody's really talking to you, most popular people they try to make you feel guilty about that. Oh, you're being disrespectful by not putting yourself out there. You're being disrespectful by not chasing people up and down the street and begging them for attention. Uh, so when people see that you're not popular, they try to make you feel guilty about that, or they say that for example, you were born with the wrong hair texture, born with the wrong facial features, stuff like that. So, but really, I mean, a lot of unpopularity is just what you were born with. What I'm saying is that a lot of people are just naturally unpopular, and so basically, if you're an unpopular person, uh, you people try to shame you into thinking it's your fault, and then you go out and you're really putting yourself out there, and you're making you're making a lot more content, you're making a lot more posts, but you notice that the more posts you make, the more content you make, the more you put yourself out there, the less of a response you get. And you notice that allowing people to shame you into overaction, allowing people to shame you into overaction is making you more unpopular, because you're quote unquote spamming, or you're quote unquote uh, overdoing it. You're over eager, or you're overcompensating for your lack of popularity. So so here are 10 ways to become successful if you're naturally unpopular. So first one is my favorite. So the first one is do what you love. So for example, if you know for a fact that most people are not going to give you attention, and most people are not going to give you money, most people are not going to give you the time of day, most people are not going to take an interest in you, then you can do what you love, because you're not motivated by other people's opinion of you, because you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it no matter what you do. So if you're naturally unpopular, it frees you to do what you want. It like I said, I've written at this point I've written about 35 books. I've written about 35 books, and um, that's just an example of what you can accomplish if you're not motivated by attention or profit. So you can do what you always wanted to do. Basically, what I do in my life, is I do the things that other people wait their entire lives to do. So, for example, most people wait until they're 60, 70, 80 before they write their first book, or before they try to start their first business. Most people wait their entire lives to start living. Most people wait their entire lives to start living. That's what I'm saying. Most people wait their entire lives to start living, and if you're not motivated by what people think about you, and what people give you, what people the attention people give you, then you can start living right now. Start so the first way to become successful uh, when you're naturally unpopular is to live your life now while you're still alive, while you still have an opportunity to live your life. That's the first. That's the first solution. So the second solution is to lower your expectations. So if you're naturally unpopular, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get the type of attention that somebody like Drake is gonna get. If you're naturally unpopular, you're not gonna get the type of attention and money that somebody like Drake or uh, Drake is the only guy that I can think of at this point. So you're not going to get the type of attention of a Hollywood celebrity or of a Michael Jordan, I guess. You're not going to get that type of attention. So lower your expectations. I mean, if you're not keeping up with the Joneses, if you don't if you can't win the popularity race anyway, then you just saved yourself a couple $1,000s a month. If you know you're not going to win the population race anyway, you just saved yourself a couple $1,000s a month. Uh, yeah, so that's the first thing. So that's the second point. That's the second point. So the third point is be reasonable, which is sort of related to lower your expectations, but be reasonable. For example, be reasonable in that uh, uh, you know to put it simply, America is the most indebted nation in world history. So all this, all, I think they were saying the average credit card debt in America was something like I forget the statistic, but I think they were saying the average credit card debt in America was something like 20,000 or 25,000. So so basically, be reasonable means that with all the attention and money that popular people get, particularly in the West and you know in certain Eastern countries like Japan. So particularly, so with all the attention that people, uh, with all the attention that with all the attention and money that people get from being popular, they have to pay two times, three times as much as what they're getting in bribes in order to get that attention. They have so in America, the average American has to go in debt, $2, $3, or $4 in order to make a dollar. So if you're not, if you're naturally unpopular, and you know that no amount of schmoozing is going to get you onto that gravy train, then you you're solvent, which puts you ahead of 99% of Americans. If you're not trying to be popular or famous or whatever, then you have the freedom to you're basically doing a lot better than you think, because like I said, America is the most indebted nation in world history, and that's just talking about the basic debt. We're not even getting into unfunded liabilities. So America is the most indebted nation in world history, and basically the entire West, pretty much every Western nation is rolling in debt. So when you see it's not only government debt, it's personal debt as well. So when you see all these influencers with their perfect lives on Instagram and Twitter, they have to spend 4 to 10 times as much as the views they're getting on Twitter. If you, for example, perfect example, uh, 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 Elon Musk is getting like 40 million views per tweet. Elon Musk is getting like 40 million views per tweet. And then if you look at the Twitter platform, if you look at the Twitter platform, uh, it's like I believe the last statistic was that Twitter is like $14 billion in debt. So, you know, Elon Musk can get as many 40 million view tweets as he wants. That's not going to erase $14 billion in debt. So, don't get me wrong, being popular is nice, but it has its limitations. So that's what be reasonable means. So, number four is express gratitude. So if you are alive and I mean, like back in the day, if you were, if you were from an unpopular religion, if you were from an unpopular ethnicity, if you had the wrong, if you had nappy hair, if you had a big nose, if you had dark skin, they were. I mean, if they caught you in the West, they were. If they caught you in the West, they were burning you at the stake. It was one thing. If you were in unpopular religions, such as if you were Protestant and Catholic in a Catholic area, or Catholic in a Protestant area, or if you were atheist in a fundamentalist area, or if you were uh, 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 worshiping Zeus or Ra or whoever in the wrong place, they will burn you at the stake. So the fact that you are alive right now, listening to this, if you're unpopular and you can actually listen to this and you actually survive long enough to get yourself home internet and a computer that runs a reasonable operating system, then you need to express gratitude, and that's one of those tricky things that you really need to learn how to do. So next point, find an ally. So basically, I live in a condo building. I live in a condo building, and I live in a condo building in uptown Chicago. I live in a condo building uptown Chicago, and I'm very unpopular in this building. People can't stand me. They see me and they go the other way. I'm very unpopular in this building. But I have an ally who is the landlord. So I have a relatively good relationship with the landlord. I've helped the landlord out in a few areas, and I'm always respectful to the landlord. I'm always, saying hello to the landlord, and I got I made a very popular, very favorable review of the building on some review sites, and that it helps. It helps. So yeah. So yeah, find an ally. So you're not going to, you know the thing about unpopular people is that they're not going to have a lot. Popular people have a lot of surface level relationships. Popular people have like a million superficial relationships from people that they don't know or care about, and who don't know or care about them. But unpopular people tend to have that one person in their life that is extremely, that they have a really good relationship with. Maybe one or a few, maybe one or two, maybe a handful of people that they have a really good relationship with, and they just coast on that for the rest of their life. They don't need anything else. Though the few relationships that unpopular people have are so nourishing and so strong that they can just coach for the rest of their lives on that. They don't need to get the billion followers on Instagram and all this other stuff. And so that's that point. And the next point is grind. So if you're really unpopular, and this probably isn't the wisest thing. So if you're really unpopular, you could just put yourself out there. You could just make more posts on social media. You could improve, work to improve your appearance. I haven't had a haircut all year. I haven't had a haircut or a shave all year. Uh, so if you're naturally unpopular, you can grind and you can do whatever it takes to get people to like you, and you can do whatever it takes to become popular. So it's really risky, and you're gonna find out. Like I said, I mean, most popular people just have a million superficial relationships that mean nothing, meaningless sex, meaningless friendships, meaningless parties, uh, uh, meaningless awards, meaningless everything. So it might not be worth it, but if you really want to be popular, then if you really want to get that 40 million view tweet, if you really want to get that 40 million view tweet, uh, you can do that, but you're gonna have to work like a dog, and you're gonna have to work not only to overcome the deficit from your unpopularity, but you're gonna have to compete with all these other people who are naturally popular, and so on and so forth. So that's that point, which is grind. Uh, so follow proven principles. So there are proven principles. If you read a lot of personal development, self help books, there are proven principles that can help you to be more popular. And certain things such as, for example, getting a haircut, getting shaved, not saying and ah and so every other word when you're speaking. That's another way to be more popular. And if you're black, people tend to respond to rap videos and prank videos and fight videos, street fighting videos, all this other stuff, and uh, so on and so forth. So there are proven principles to becoming successful. If you read books from Brian Tracy writes a lot about sales and influencing people. So he'll teach you some tips on how to be more influential, how to make people like you more, which is not easy, but there are proven principles that work most of the time to make you more likable. And uh, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's another book. So next point, set a specific goal. So set a specific goal. So if you're saying I want to be popular, that's not a specific goal. That's not a specific goal. So if you set a specific goal, like I want to have a 1 million view tweet, I want to have a 1,000 like tweet, I want to have a 1 million view YouTube video. I want to be I want to be a headmaster in a parade, so on and so forth. So if you have a specific goal, you can work towards that goal, and you can get there specifically to get specifically what you want. So because you know you might want popularity, but you don't want everything that goes with popularity. You might want popularity, but you don't want everything that goes with popularity. You don't want the STDs and the rape accusations and the paternity tests and the bar fights because you took someone's girlfriend, stuff like that. You want a very specific thing from the universe of popularity. So be specific. So uh, reflect. So one of the best ways of learning is to reflect on your progress. So think about what you are doing right now to become popular. Think about what you're doing right now to become popular, and think about what you can do. What are you doing now, and how does it work? And then you look at how you can do it better. So so I got so so I got that principle from this book, which is Make It Stick. The Science of Successful Learning. Uh, it's got three authors, two scientists and a two scientists and a creative writer. And so it's basically one of the best tips it gives you for how to learn more effectively is called reflection. So yeah, so the final point is to say no to materialism. So this is related to the first point, which I said, which was do what you love. So this point says basically that you know uh, basically I mean like I said before, the type of things that I mean the type of things that people are willing to pay attention to, particularly a black man, the type of things that people are willing to pay attention to a black man for doing are the type of things that are really not that wise or beneficial. And it sort of makes you think that maybe, I mean, it's like, it's like there was this famous, there was this famous there was this famous motivational speaker was like, you would do anything for money. That's true. You would do anything to get $1 million. You would do anything to get $1 million. But what if the motivational speaker was like, what if I were to tell you that you get $1 million today, but you don't wake up tomorrow? So that changes the whole paradigm. You get $1 million today, but you can't wake up tomorrow. So having, like I said before, having another day of life is more valuable than any amount of popularity. I mean, it's like having another day of life is more valuable than any form of popularity that you can achieve. And being able to live your own life, being able to live, having the option of living healthy, having the option of pursuing your goals and your dreams is more valuable than any form of popularity. And but you can still be successful. You just won't be popular. You can still, like I said, you can still write 35 books. You just won't sell that many. You can still, you know, uh, make a pivotal art piece, but it won't be featured on Vogue or Teen Vogue or whatever, or Condé Nast or whatever. So you you can be successful. You just won't have the trappings of success. You just won't have the trappings of success. You'll just have inner success. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I know it went a little bit long, but these list videos tend to be long anyway. So tell me what you think. So what did I cover the points right? Did I miss anything? What would you say is the best course of action for somebody who is naturally unpopular and wants to be successful? So I mean, I wish I could write a book about this. I probably will write a book about this, but yeah. So that's all I wanted to say, and have a great day and goodbye.